So, you've just found out you're a vampire. Welcome to the club, I guess. On paper, being a vampire might sound pretty cool. You're immortal, you can live forever, you have supernatural strength, and you get to wear all that edgy goth attire. But let me tell you, that immortality is more of a curse than a blessing, and the rest of it? Well, it's just a really inconvenient existence. Strap in, because being a vampire sucks, literally and figuratively. Let's start with the eating situation. You're a vampire, which means you drink blood. Sounds pretty glamorous, right? Like you're the suave, mysterious character in a gothic novel? But here's the catch. You need blood to survive. And no, I don't mean a tiny sip from a blood bank. You've got to get your hands on fresh blood, which means regularly hunting people down. That's not exactly what you'd call a socially acceptable lifestyle choice. Ever tried explaining to someone why you can't go out for a nice dinner because you're too busy hunting down some poor schmuck for a quick snack? Yeah, not fun. And about that immortality? You'd think living forever would be all sunshine and roses, right? Well, guess what? After a couple hundred years, you're basically just bored out of your mind. You've done everything, seen everything, and eventually all you're left with is a deep, soul-crushing existential crisis. Everything you knew and loved is gone, and you're stuck watching it all fade away, forever. So yeah, eternal life sounds great in theory, but try living with the constant reminder that time is the one thing you'll never get back. That, my friend, is pure misery. Let's talk about the sunlight situation for a second. You've probably heard the rumors about vampires being allergic to the sun. Well, they're not wrong. The sun? Yeah, it's pretty much your arch nemesis. You can't go out during the day unless you want to turn into a pile of ash. So you've got to stay inside all day, every day, hiding in the dark like some sort of nocturnal creature. You'll never see the joy of a Sunday morning brunch or the beauty of a summer afternoon. Instead, you're stuck with a life that revolves around night shifts and avoiding the sunlight like it's a dangerous X. Let's talk about your social life for a minute. You'd think being a vampire would make you the life of the party, right? I mean, you're immortal, mysterious, and have an uncanny ability to never age. But honestly, people are really bad at being impressed by you after about the 500th time you mention you were around during the Renaissance. Sure, you can try to impress people by showing up to a party, but then you're stuck in the corner watching everyone else, too alive to really get what it's like to never need to sleep again. Oh, and don't even get me started on the fact that you can't even enjoy their crappy music because your hearing is so finely tuned you can't escape the sound of someone's really bad playlist. So you end up just standing there, sipping on blood, discreetly, because no one needs to see you suck someone dry, wishing you could go home to your coffin. Oh wait, you are home. You're also never truly part of anything anymore. Sure, you can hang around with people, pretend to be one of them, but the truth is, you're always an outsider. You're literally the one who's never going to die, and everyone else is busy living their short little lives, and you're just there, forever watching them come and go. You might try to form connections, but after a while it gets old. You're like that weird, overly attached friend who can never move on, except you can't even leave because you're immortal. You're stuck in a world where everything changes except you. Navigating the modern world? A nightmare. So you're an ancient creature, but you live in a world of smartphones and TikTok. Good luck keeping up. You've just figured out how to use an iPhone, and now there's a new app, a new trend, and suddenly everyone's obsessed with VR. VR, you're over here wondering how you can make it through another 200 years of surviving modern technology, and people are live streaming their entire lives for views. And sure, you could try to enjoy a good Netflix binge, but let's face it, you've seen it all. Literally. You were around when the first film was made, and now you're watching the 40th remake of a superhero movie? Fun time. And then there's the dating scene. You'd think being immortal and ridiculously good-looking would make things easier? Nope. Let's face it, nobody wants to date someone who is never going to age, never going to die, and oh yeah, regularly drinks people's blood. Imagine trying to explain that on a date. So, yeah, I'm over 300 years old, and by the way, I'll never grow old, and sometimes I might have to bite you to survive. Cool with that? Yeah, good luck with that. You're better off just going home to your coffin and sulking in peace. And speaking of dating, there's also the whole murdering people to survive thing. It's not like you can casually go to the store and pick up a bag of blood like some kind of 7-Eleven run. Nope, you've got to kill someone for that sweet, delicious blood. Sure, you can argue that it's just nature, that you're doing what you've got to do to survive, but it's hard to ignore the fact that every time you hunt someone down, you're basically becoming the villain in your own story. The guilt? Yeah, that's real, but no one wants to talk about that part. Also, there's that whole family thing. You might think being immortal means you can just create your own little vampire family and live happily ever after. Ha! No, that's not how it works. You turn someone into a vampire and they're stuck like you. And what happens when one of them inevitably becomes a psychopath? Oh yeah, you're stuck with that for eternity. You can't get rid of them. There's no take a break from your dysfunctional family when you live forever. So enjoy that little family reunion from hell every couple of decades. Let's talk about the fact that you're never really part of society. Sure, you can try to blend in, pretend like everything's fine, but deep down you're always separate from the people around you. You've outlived generations. Your friends grow old, they die, and you just keep on living. So yeah, enjoy watching the world change. Everyone else will move on, but you'll just be stuck in the same loop, trying to pretend you're not literally watching history pass you by. Now let's talk about your appearance. You're immortal, so you're probably always going to look like the best version of yourself. But you're also kind of stuck in that forever young state. It's all fun and games until you realize that while your physical appearance may remain flawless, your mind starts to feel like a drained battery. After all, what's the point of being eternally beautiful when you can't ever get excited about life again? You might look like $1,000,000, but on the inside, you're a walking emotional void. And lastly, there's the problem of never being truly human again. Sure, you're technically still a person, but you've lost your humanity. Your connection to the world, to the people you once knew, is gone. It's hard to be close to anyone when you're constantly hiding who you really are and what you've become. The people you loved die, and you're left behind, forever stuck in a world where nothing lasts. You might have the power to take life, but it's the human experiences, the love, the joy, the shared moments that you'll never get back. So why does it suck to be a vampire? Because while you might have immortality, strength, and an endless supply of night to roam the world, the cost is everything. You're stuck in an endless loop of boredom, guilt, and isolation. You can't enjoy the things that humans do, and even worse, you can't ever really feel alive again. So, yeah, being a vampire might sound cool in the movies, but in reality, it's just one long, miserable existence. Welcome to eternity. Good luck.
Alright, it's quiz time. Let's see how much you really absorbed about the tough life of a vampire. Answer these questions to test your knowledge, and see if you truly understand what it's like to live forever, or not. What is one of the major drawbacks of immortality for a vampire? A. Never aging. B. Constant boredom and existential crises. C. Supernatural strength. D. Ability to fly. The answer is B. Constant boredom and existential crises. Why is the vampire's freedom of choice limited? A. The government controls everything. B. Other supernatural creatures control their decisions. C. Their fangs are too powerful to resist. D. Vampires are restricted by time limitations. The answer is D. Vampires are restricted by time limitations. What is the vampire's biggest struggle when trying to connect with humans? A. They need to drink blood from humans. B. They cannot find a mate. C. They are constantly surrounded by danger. D. They can't age or die, making relationships difficult. The answer is D. They can't age or die, making relationships difficult. How did you do? Whether you aced it or learned something new, just remember, being a vampire isn't as glamorous as it seems. Thanks for playing, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.